Snowflakes drifted lazily through the cold December air as the city buzzed with the familiar warmth of Christmas Eve. Laughter spilled from cafes, families hurried home with gifts, and streetlights shimmered like tiny miracles. But on one quiet corner of the city, in a candlelit restaurant overlooking a frosted park, a woman sat alone. Her name was Clara Wren, CEO of a global design firm, known for her brilliance, poise, and the mysterious loneliness she carried behind her eyes. Tonight, despite her success and fame, she wasn't a CEO. She was just a woman waiting for a man she'd never met, a man from a blind date app who called himself Evan. The clock ticked past 7. Their date was for 6:30. Clara stirred her cocoa, glancing at the door again. Each time the bell above the entrance rang, hope flickered across her face, only to fade. She had told herself not to expect much. After all, men rarely saw her, they saw the CEO, the success, the name on magazines. But something about Evan's messages had felt different. He was humble, funny, gentle. He spoke of raising his son alone and trying to make Christmas special despite hard times. He hadn't flirted, he had connected. Still, it was getting late. Before we go further, dear viewer, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the magic of love that finds you when you least expect it, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Tales. Your support helps keep these stories of hope alive. Now, back to that snowy night. Across town, Evan Parker was running through the cold, clutching a tiny hand wrapped in a red mitten. His son, Milo, only 6 years old, was crying softly. Their old car had broken down in the middle of a quiet street, smoke hissing from the hood. Evan had no money for a tow truck. He had spent the last of it on a new shirt, his only Christmas treat, and a small chocolate Santa for Milo that he had promised the little boy he'd be back soon. But when the car died, and Milo began coughing from the cold, Evan made a choice, to take him home first, even if it meant being late. He tucked Milo into bed with a blanket, whispered, "Daddy will be right back, okay? Santa might visit early," and ran out into the night. His shoes were soaked, his fingers numb, but he kept moving. His heart pounded with fear and shame. She'll think I stood her up. He had wanted this evening to be perfect. After years of loneliness, grief, and scraping by after his wife's passing, he finally felt a spark of hope again, a reason to believe that maybe, just maybe, someone could see past the worn jacket and tired eyes. Back in the restaurant, the waiter approached Clara again, voice gentle. "Ma'am, would you like to order, or shall I bring the check?" She smiled faintly. "I'll wait a little longer." Her assistant had begged her not to come. "You don't know who he is," she had said. "You're a CEO, it could be risky." But Clara had read something in Evan's messages that had touched her. He didn't know who she really was. On the dating app, she had used only her first name, and no photos that revealed her position. For once, she wanted to be seen as a woman, not a brand. By 8:30, most of the tables were empty. The snow outside fell thicker, coating the streets in silence. Clara sighed, took one last sip of her cocoa, and stood to leave. Then the restaurant door swung open with a gust of icy wind. A man stumbled in, breathing heavily, cheeks flushed from the cold. His hair was wet, his coat frayed, and his eyes, those deep, tired eyes, were searching, desperate, yet filled with warmth. "Clara?" he asked softly. She froze. Something about the way he said her name made her heart stop. He caught his breath, apologizing over and over. "I'm so sorry. My car broke down, and my son, he's 6, I couldn't just leave him alone in the cold. I ran all the way here." In that moment, she saw the truth, not the lateness, not the worn clothes, but the love of a father written across his face. She motioned for him to sit. "You made it. That's what matters." As he sat down, still trembling from the chill, she noticed his hands, calloused, rough, the hands of someone who worked hard, maybe too hard. They ordered soup and coffee, and as he warmed up, his nervousness faded. He told her about Milo, about working construction jobs since his wife passed away 3 years ago. About nights when he'd eat once so his son could have twice. He spoke not to impress, but to share, honest, simple, unguarded. Clara listened, truly listened. For the first time in years, she wasn't thinking about stock prices or shareholders. She was thinking about how small moments, like this one, could mean everything. Evan noticed her elegant dress, the way she spoke with quiet confidence. He wondered who she really was. He told her, half joking, "You look like you own the place." She laughed softly, brushing off the thought. "Let's just say I have a busy job." When they finished dinner, Evan insisted on paying, though his wallet held only a few notes. She smiled, gently sliding her card across to the waiter. "Consider it my Christmas gift," she said. He wanted to refuse, but her kindness disarmed him. Outside, they walked through the snow together. The city lights shimmered around them, and somewhere in the distance, church bells chimed midnight. Clara asked about Milo again, and Evan's eyes softened. "He still believes Santa will bring his mom back," he whispered. "I didn't have the heart to tell him Santa can't do that." Her heart broke quietly. She reached into her coat pocket and handed him a small red mitten she'd found on the floor earlier. "Looks like you dropped this." He stared at it, realization dawning, and chuckled through tears. He's always losing one. Something shifted between them, a quiet connection that didn't need words. Over the next hour, they walked, laughed, shared memories. For a moment, it felt like the world had stopped to let two broken souls find each other again. Before parting, Clara said softly, "Can I see you again?" Evan hesitated. "You'd want to? After tonight?" "I think. I'd regret it if I didn't." She handed him her business card. His eyes widened when he saw the name, Clara Wren, CEO, Wren and Company. Design Group. His jaw fell open. "You're that Clara Wren?" She smiled gently. "I hope that doesn't change anything." He shook his head, overwhelmed. "No, it just makes me wonder why someone like you would wait for someone like me." "Because," she said quietly, "you showed up." Days passed, and Clara couldn't stop thinking about him. On Christmas morning, she drove to Evan's neighborhood, a modest building with chipped paint and snow piled at the doorstep. She knocked gently, holding a small gift. Milo answered, eyes lighting up. "Are you Santa's friend?" he asked. She laughed softly. "Maybe." Evan appeared, surprised but smiling. She handed him a wrapped box. "Something for both of you," she said. Inside were 2 warm coats, a toolkit, and an invitation, a card to a New Year's gala at her company, with a note, "No tux needed. Just come as you are." Tears welled in his eyes. "You didn't have to, I wanted to," she replied. "Everyone deserves a little warmth." That night, Evan and Milo watched the snowfall together, the world outside glowing with the promise of second chances. For once, Evan didn't feel invisible. Weeks later, he arrived at the gala in a borrowed suit, nervous but determined. When Clara saw him enter, she didn't see a poor man. She saw courage, humility, and a heart bigger than any fortune. As they danced beneath the lights, she whispered, "You were late that night, but right on time for my heart." He smiled, tears glistening. "Guess Christmas miracles still happen."